that we've done on Instagram. So with that, I thought we'd be able to do it from the computer with the software that we have. We got to get some different software, so we got to integrate that. So with that, we're just gonna roll with it, right? Because so I'll just do it from my phone, and then next time we'll sharpen it up for you all. But for now, what we're gonna do is I'm waiting for Chris. I think Chris, he said that he sent me a request, but Chris, I'm not seeing your request. Can you send it again? Oh, okay. I see you. I see you. Okay, I see you. Hold on. All right, I see it. I see George's request. I see Cartwright's request, and I see Earl's request. All right, so I knocked one out, and now I'm gonna accept Chris. So Chris should be able to join now, and I'm gonna accept Earl. Cool. All right, so Chris joined, Earl joined. So unfortunately, so I guess, these are some of the things that we're learning as we, this is our first live. Next time we won't have any limitations. Why? Because we'll have the right software. But with that, what we're not going to do is let it slow us down, because we're here for a purpose. We all have a purpose. So everyone else, everyone can see us. I'm glad you're joining. So really, just to kind of talk to you guys about what this is all about, where I'm going to introduce, it kind of really does suck a little bit, because there's some things I really wanted to be able to show on screen. I wanted to be able to show, some of what Chris Perry's doing. I want to show what Eduardo's doing. And unfortunately, I won't be able to show it on screen. But what we'll do is, inside the comments and things, I'll have my son, Chris and George, my sons. They'll post their links and things in there, just so you can just see what they're up to, because they're doing some pretty awesome things. God's really blessed them with some gifts, and He's also blessed them with some great opportunities. And when He's and He's given them a vision to know how to take those gifts, put them into those opportunities, and really make a difference in the world with the passion of those things that they really enjoy and are gifted with. So with that, I just want to say hello, everyone. God bless you all. And let me just first introduce you. I want to introduce you to Chris Perry. And I want to introduce you to Eduardo Polares, right? Is that how you pronounce it? Polares, right? And Polares, and one of my other students on here, who is Earl. Earl, were you scheduled for today? I think you were scheduled for next week, right?
Yeah, I didn't mean to be a part of this. I just
that's
want
okay.
to
Just
enjoy
cool.
you guys.
You chilling. You can just chill. You part of the family, but you'll still be on next week. So you just gonna chill quietly. That's what you do. So with that, what I want to do is, as we're talking to Earl and to Chris Perry and Eduardo, really, I just kind of want to let you guys give all of you that are watching just a little window into kind of our world, right? And when I talk about that, what I mean is that world where really where we're able to just take, again, we have these gifts, we have our passions, the things that all of us have, things that God's blessing us with, right? The passions, the gifts, He does that differently in all of us. However, many of us don't really understand how to take that and really do it in a way where you're not having to necessarily punch a clock, or find different ways so that you can do that thing that you do whenever, however you want to. Now, as far as Chris and Eduardo, they're doing some things like some of my many of my colleagues and I do, and most if not all of my students are doing, which is what they're doing is they're using Airbnb as a platform. They're growing their Airbnb passive income so that it's a platform to either eliminate their 9 to 5 if they haven't already done that, or actually do it, right? Or if nothing else, what they do is they eliminate their need for the 9 to 5, because it doesn't necessarily mean just because you have the cash flow that you can't, if you're called to do something. I mean, Eduardo's an engineer. Chris is, he's an author. He's, a fitness instructor. He's got a lot of talents and passion. I'm going to let him talk about that stuff. But really, if you're called to do something, then like that's what you need to really be doing. If that's what the Lord's calling you to do, and if that means you're punching a 9 to 5 because that's what you're called to do, then you should be doing it. However, what I like to tell my kids is, if you're doing that thing just because you need to pay the bills, then that's a problem, right? And so what we do is, if you're called to do it and you have the Airbnb passive income, then it's just a supplement, because you're only doing it you're punching the 9 to 5 because you want to, not because you have to. And then while you're growing, if you feel you're called to do something else while you're growing your Airbnb passive income, then you're going to be able to replace that, so that just like I did, just like my kids have done, just like many of my colleagues and other students have done, where now that thing that we're really, really passionate about, your Airbnb cash flow really is able to eliminate your need to punch the 9 to 5, so you can get all your time back. Once you can get your time back, now you can do that thing that you're really passionate about, that you're gifted for, being able to help others, right? Being able to be, and we'll talk more about that. I'm not going to get into it because I've already spoken too much. So with that said, what's up, Chris? What's up, Eduardo? How you guys doing, man? Well, I can't hear Chris. Can you guys hear Chris? Eduardo,
No, I can't hear him.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Still can't hear Chris. Earl, can I hear you? I heard Earl earlier. Talk to me, Earl.
Yeah, I just turned on my mic.
Okay, so Earl's good. Earl turned on his mic. He's good. Eduardo's good. So we're just waiting really for Chris. Something's up with your mic, bro. So while we're waiting for Chris, I'll introduce Eduardo. Hey, Eduardo. Hey, Eduardo. So talk to us, man. Tell us about, like, where are you from? I already know these questions. I'm gonna just ask you, but just share with everyone where you're from, first of all.
I'm actually from Houston, Texas, born and raised here, and still living here.
Amen. Amen. And
years.
How long?
30 years.
30 years. All right, praise God. Chris, when you're able to get your mic going, just chime in, because then I'll know, and then I can really start talking to you. Not sure why his mic is muted. No one else is. You guys have your control of your mic. So what we'll do then, so Eduardo, let's talk about what I'm interested in. I hear like you have some new things that have transpired, some really wonderful things that have transpired in your life. Eduardo, can you hear me?
Yeah. I think you bugged out a little bit.
Oh, did I? I said, yeah. I said you had some pretty special things transpire over the last, how long ago was it?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Three weeks ago. So within the last month. So you shared a post. So I'll just I'm gonna let you talk about it. Tell us about it, man. If you don't mind sharing, I think it's pretty special.
Oh, no, I don't mind sharing. So, I really didn't. Well, I actually got engaged 3 weeks ago. You know, it was never in my mind to get engaged with my current girlfriend. It was I was like, yeah, you know, I was getting to know her and stuff like that, but you know, engagement wasn't on my mind. And I've been with her for 4 years, so you know, within those 4 years, I happened to come across Jim and his program. I think it was I believe months into our relationship, and so you know, I was working as an engineer at that time and stuff like that. You know, I had a steady income, but you know, once I came across Jim, you know, he opened up my eyes to where it's like, you know, it's not just your W-2 job. It's not your 9 to 5. You know, there's endless opportunities in, you know, in business. And so, you know, I trusted him. I felt, you know, my prayers and my affirmations were answered at the time. And, you know, lo and behold, the way he presented his program and stuff, it, you know, it resonated with me. So, you know, I went with it. I was like, you know, this is a sign from the man upstairs, and I went with it. And, you know, I was blessed that I did, because if it wasn't for his program or, you know, that extra income, you know, it would have taken me a little bit longer to get engaged to my fiance, because, you know, you got to have your finances correct. You can just rush into stuff. And, you know, it was a big blessing, you know, because of the program. You know, I've saved up, you know, enough passive income and stuff like that to actually, you know, be able to afford everything that I did within, you know, the last 3 weeks. And, you know, we're going to get married within a year, and, you know, we're looking into some houses already. And, you know, that Airbnb passive income basically blessed me a lot. And, you know, Jim's whole team, and, you know, I'm very grateful for that.
Praise
You
God.
know, I did, and it's not going to end there.
Praise God. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't, you know, I wasn't really expecting you to talk about the academy at this point, but yeah, since you're talking about it, I guess my question is, like, because I know in the post that you created, you created a post and you were just sharing, because that's one of the things we do. We love to share our wins, what he's done for us, and what you indicated was that, you know, you guys were able to go away. You swept her away, and you proposed. Where'd you guys go?
We went to Mexico. It was 30. It was in the state of Mexico where she basically lives, and we went to a lake where it's called Valle de Bravo, in English reference, Lake of the Brave. And believe it or not, that lake is where a lot of retired Europeans and Americans go, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. And I basically got with a cousin there to set up the whole fireworks and stuff. I still got to update how I did it too and share with everyone. It was beautiful. But
So you had fireworks?
Yeah, I had fireworks. I had the Marry Me sign, a nice dinner after that.
What?
And I decorated the room with flowers, champagne. Well, first, the thing is, she was under the impression that, oh, the room was just, you know, decorated with flowers and stuff like that. And it kind of caught her off guard. She's like, what are we celebrating? Is it anniversary? What is it? And so next thing you know, I took her outside. There was drones basically recording us. I had photographers. You know, I went all out. And,
Okay.
you know, I popped the question, and she just said, yeah. But it was beautiful.
Praise God. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. And it sounds like, Chris, we got you back? You
Yeah,
good?
we good now, man.
Okay, I think it was there a conflict with the Zoom thing? That's maybe what happened?
I had to exit out of the Zoom so that I was join this.
All right, we good. So we're gonna get to Chris in a second. So because Eduardo's getting, like, he's creating tears over here. Like he got people crying over here about how he had fireworks at his engagement. He swept her away, went to Mexico, and you know, and had signed "Marry Me," "Marry Me" banners and all this stuff up. So that's pretty special. And you and what's your fiance's name, Eduardo?
Vivian Paula. I call her Viviana or
Viviana.
Paula.
right. So Viviana and you know, Viviana, how long have you guys been together?
We've been together for 4 years.
4 years. So
Uh,
so she was there from the start of your whole Airbnb journey, right?
yes, correct.
Because
Yeah.
you started with me in the academy. How long ago was it?
Mm, I believe in 2000 and late 18 or beginning of 19. I'm not too sure.
Was it that
Something.
long ago? Was it that long
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah, I think it was in
Did you start
2019.
after Taiwan or before?
A little bit after. It was pre-COVID.
So if okay, so if it was pre-COVID, it must have been before because she started like the week COVID started, which was March of 2020.
Yeah, I think I started that same. No, it was a little bit after her, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm not.
so it was 2020. So you've been around for about 2 years though, right?
Yeah.
So a little bit more than 2 years. And one of the things you mentioned in your post is that Airbnb was the thing that allowed you to be able to do this, accelerate that proposal, right? Because you said you had to make sure your finances right. Now you're an engineer. I don't know what you mean by your finances were right, and I can tell you we'll talk about that in a minute because my son-in-law he tried to come at me with the same thing when he was talking about proposing to my daughter. I was like, son, don't like that can't be an excuse. Not because for me, like I did the same thing. Like when I was you guys' age, when I was his age, I was like I want to make sure I got it all. I got this, I got this, I got that. And you know what? My wife today, my girlfriend at the time was like, I ain't concerned about all that stuff. You just better put a ring on it.
Yep. That's exactly what she told me.
Right. And that's what I told my son. I said, son, listen, don't, I did the same thing. Don't let that be the thing to stop you from doing what you're called to do. If this is the woman you love, right? If this is who you love and you want to spend the rest of your life with, believe me, she's not worried about all that. And
Oh,
then
yeah,
when it comes, you could change things later. You could add to it later, but don't let that be the limiting belief that stops you. Because it's not just you. I went through it, and I'm sure many other men go through it. And you're a relationship guy. I don't know if you've seen other guys go through it, but you're just an example right there, right?
oh,
So
yeah.
so we'll talk more about that. So all you guys out there, listen. If I'm just gonna tell you this, and I'm not a relationship guy, but I've been with my wife for 36 years, so I'm somewhat qualified because what also qualifies me is that I made a lot of stupid mistakes. So that's what also qualifies me, and I recognize the stupid mistakes, and we lived through them. So what I want to say to you is this. This is what I want to say to you. The one thing, like out of all the stupid mistakes that I made, like out of all of them that I made, the one thing that I would change, there's one thing that I would change, just one. I would marry that woman the next day. The next day, I would marry her. That's the only thing. Instead of making her wait 6-8 years, I can't remember. It was a long time. She said no in the beginning. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there because these guys are the relationship guys. They'll let you talk. So, hey, listen, Chris.
What's up, man?
Talk to me, man. Talk to me. You had some technical difficulties, and we're gonna get into some more things with Eduardo as well. But talk to me. Tell us, Chris, where are you from? I know all these answers, but just share with everyone else that's on. Like, talk to us. What are you doing, man? Where are you from, and what's going on with you?
I'm from upstate New York. I'm from where Mr. Cartwright is from, and your kids as well. So Binghamton, New York, very small town. Yeah, I don't feel like growing up, I don't feel like there was a lot of opportunity here. So I did travel a lot. I did experience a lot, and I did think outside the box. And I think that's what kind of set me apart from everybody else, was thinking outside of the box. Because when you're from a small town and you don't have that ambition and drive, you got to travel. You got to make it happen. Currently, I'm just blessed for everything that you guys have done for me and the opportunities you guys have given me as far as the Airbnb thing. It's great, man. I I was supposed to start about a year ago, maybe what, 6-7 months ago. But I put it on the back burner because of everything else I had going on. And I wish I didn't, because I wish I would have started sooner, because as soon as I started and as soon as things started moving, it was going very well. And having Chris Cartwright as a mentor, having you as a mentor to help me through this, Airbnb just really has like that passive income that I need to chase the dreams that I have and continue pursuing what I'm doing. I was always a firm believer in multiple incomes. I also was a firm believer in not working for anybody, because I don't like working for people. I prefer not to. I'd rather be my own boss. I'd rather work on my own time and kind of just like structure my life around family first. And in order for me to do that, I would have to be the guy that creates that opportunity. So I did that through social media, building my online presence from Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. It opened up the door for me to be able to sell a book. My book, 24 Reasons You Are Good Enough, ended up being the #1 bestseller, which I was very thankful for. And that was a lot of my followers and fans that opened that door of opportunity up open for me. And just along the way, just anything I did, they always supported me. Whether it be personal training, I was able to get my clients. I had put a post out that I was training, and I had a whole sheet of people within my first month. I was booked up, and I'm just very thankful for that. And opportunities going forward, I would love to continue doing my Airbnb thing and just building that platform so that I can open up the door for more of my motivational speaking, more of my relationship stuff, more of that kind of idea of the direction I want to go, because I do feel like I have a lot of insight, and I do feel like I have a lot of people that follow me for those reasons, and I want to continue inspiring them and be able to put my energy into those things as opposed to other things that I don't feel like deserve as much energy, but kind of need to be done right now, you know. But I'm just thankful, man. I do want to say I haven't talked to you, Jim, in months. I mean, we chatted a little bit online, but it's just like the last time we talked, I was still trying to get it off the ground. So I'm like, Jim, like, you got to help me out. What do I got to do? You know, I got to make this happen. And then Chris was there along the way helping me. So now, like, I feel like I do have like I got it down packed, but obviously there's always more to learn. Or I feel like I do. But that's that laugh saying I got so much more to learn, right?
well. No, we'll talk about that.
I know that there's new opportunities we're trying to work on as far as building our own platform, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, man, it's amazing to see, because I just remember Chris and you always telling me, trust the process. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to trust the process.
Oh, yeah.
Pray on it, and I'm gonna see what happens. And I trusted the process, and it kind of just all flew together, and it all worked out the way it was supposed to. It
started moving pretty fast once you got serious, right?
Yeah, bro. It was just that patience, locking in, and really focusing. I knew, like, as soon as I started, okay, I gotta lock down. I gotta make this my main focus, put everything else to the side. And those first maybe month and a half was really just me getting everything ready, everything furnished, everything set up for my guests. And now that it's in place, really the only responsibilities that we have is cleaning the place. And the only reason I'm even taking on those responsibilities right now is because I want to learn how to do it. But eventually I want to get paid and stuff to do that for me.
Get automated the way it's supposed to be done. Yep, go ahead. Yeah,
man. So it's just great to see everything just come together. So it's kind of weird, actually, because now that I do have my 2 Airbnbs up and going.
How many listings you got?
I got 6 right now. So it's like,
Eduardo, how many listings do you have?
I have 9, and as of next week or the following week, I'm gonna have 12.
That's the goals right there. See, I wanna hop right on the next one too, man. That's what's up, Eduardo. What's going on, bro? I know we didn't really say
what's up.
What's going on, man? And my boy down there, what's your name, bro?
That's Earl.
Earl.
So Earl good, now, Earl. I don't want Earl to talk right now. Earl's next week, but and the other reason why I don't want him to talk also is because I don't want y'all to, like, I want y'all to, well, if he says something, it's going to be pretty encouraging if you're part of the family, right? If you're not part of the family, then it won't be. It could be kind of discouraging, because it's like, wait, because Earl's been with us 4 months. He's got like 20 some odd listings. He started with 5 months. Is it 5 or 4? Okay, so 4 months. He's been 5 months. He's been with us 5 months, and he's got like 20 some odd listings. I don't know, 27, 26, 24. I don't know. He's got 20 some odd listings. So he hit the ground running, and just, you know. So we're gonna get into all that next week. But listen, he's got, you know, as I say, and I tell you guys, like, God gives us all a vision. He gives us all a gift and a passion, right? Like, and you know, there's the journey that he has for Eduardo is different than what he has for Earl and what he has for Chris. And what Chris's journey is different than mine. But it doesn't mean that we can't use the same principles, because he has the same principles. His principles are only, there's only one standard when it comes to him. That's not like, there's not a bunch of different, like, it's one, but we can use the same principles to walk that journey, so that we can get there without so much of this, right? But more on the straight path that he has us on. So just, you know, so Eduardo's been with us for, you know, a couple years now. He's got 9 going on 12, 13 listings, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he's doing any better or any worse. It's just he's got a different journey, right? Chris, you got 6 listings. You've been with us for, right? I think you and I, and I never do this with a student. The only reason I did this with you was because you were my, I was in town. I was, you know, my son and my daughter, they were having a baby. So we were there for a few months. We were just hanging out for a few months. And Chris was telling me a lot about you, and, you know, telling me, you know, you were young, and you just reminded me of me in some instances, reminded me of him. And I saw a lot of, just based on the stuff that he was telling me about, like, you were accomplishing a bunch of things. I said, all right, well, you know, let's go to lunch. Like, cause I don't really do that, but let's go to lunch. And, you know, I'd love to meet Chris. Let's meet him. And then, you know, cause I think based on what you're telling me, I think I can, and I wasn't even going to talk to you about Airbnb, right? I think I can maybe give him some insight to take his thing to a whole nother level, because what he was telling me about you was that you got millions of followers, and which you do. You're on TikTok. What do you got on TikTok? How many followers you got on TikTok?
2.5.
2.5 million followers. That you're a book writer. You're looking at writing this book, and, you know, you do relationship, you know, in fitness and all stuff. And I'm like, he's got 2 million, and that's not even counting your Instagram, your Facebook, your
That's
YouTube
why I wanted
stuff.
to go on Facebook, because I don't feel like Instagram, some reason it's like weird with the lives. Like, I'm like,
yeah. Well, guess
not,
what? This is only our first. This won't be our last. So we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something again, because this is
we need
something
to get
I
hop on the Facebook, and that's where, like, because I think that it's weird, because I see people with like 2 million followers, and then they get on their lives and they'll have like 100 viewers. Like, Instagram has a weird live setup.
Yeah. We that's all right. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. So, well, we could, I mean, but even if I hopped on the Facebook at the moment, like, the only reason I don't want to do it right now is because I've been telling everybody for the last few days that it's Instagram, right? So I don't want to mess anybody up, and we'll do another one. So, but the whole point, I guess, is this, like, my thing was, and this is what a lot of people don't get, right? A lot of people in general, but including, you know, people of color, even more so, right? They don't really understand, or they don't believe that they could take that gift and that passion that they have, that they're making someone that they're, you know, that they're working for, making them millions of dollars, and really, with the right framework and understanding how, you know, with the right framework and the right guidance, that they could literally within 6, 12, 18 months be generating 7 figures a month. you know, 6-7 figures a month, 6 to 7 figures a month. And it's very, 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 very possible. And so when he told me you have millions of followers, I was like, so what is he like? What is he doing in Binghamton? Well, he's still doing this, and that. I'm like, he's still doing what? I'm like, no. Let's meet him. I need to talk to him, because with that, if he's doing what he's doing, he just needs to change a couple things, doing it a different way. And when he does it a different way, then literally, I mean, he should be making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more, on a monthly basis, like we do.
Effortlessly.
Right? So, right. And so with that, it's just, you know, and that's what Mastermind, that's what the Mastermind is all about. And that's what Eduardo's into now. And I got a few other Mastermind students, and we're growing. And I'm actually part of a Mastermind where inside of my colleagues, you know, you can't be making less than $100,000 a month in order to be in it. Right. And everybody in there from all over the world, you know, there's only 100 of us all over the world. We do the same thing, just with different niches and different passions. And we're not going to get into that, but that's how that, you know, that's how that works. And as again, we'll get into that, but that's not what we're here for. So, but the whole point is with Eduardo and Chris, you guys have a passion, right? Airbnb is something that you really enjoy doing. But like me, like real estate was a passion for me. I've been doing it for 30 years. But like me, like I got a greater passion though. And what I was able to do is take Airbnb, that thing that I really enjoy doing, and allow that to grow and passively fund my ability to really do the things that I'm passionate for. And as it's growing, like as it's doing that, it's grown to be generating nearly $1 million a year, just the Airbnb stuff, not my passion, which I make way more than that. Right. So with that, like you guys, let's talk a little bit about like the reasons why you're doing Airbnb. Like, what are the passions? And I will go back to we'll go back to you, Eduardo. Like, what are those passions? What are those gifts that God's blessed you with that really, you know, Airbnb is helping you now to support your ability to start doing those things more on a daily basis versus just when you can?
Well, the thing is that Airbnb income, I was able to, you know, it helped me save up a lot to where it's like, you know, that other business idea that came forward was like, you know, I was passionate about, you know, ever since I was young, I was passionate about helping people, you know, in their relationships, their marriages. And, you know, I knew I was good at it because I was, you know, helping people, seeing results. And not only for them, but for myself too. Obviously, you know, I had to get it down first in order to help other people out. And, you know, it's, you know, my passion is helping people, especially in their marriages and relationships. That fulfills me in every aspect of my life, to see, you know, everyone happy. I want to spread love in the world. I want everyone to just, you know, be happy, because this world is, you know, we all know this world, it's not going the way we want it to go. But, you know, if it's a subtle difference, you know, if it's me or Chris or any other, you know, coach or counselor or whatnot, you know, it can make a difference in this world, and we can see more people happier. You know, that's my passion. I want to make this world a better place with, you know, with my passion and what I love to do.
So when you say people happier, like I know one thing that you told me, like, coach, like you know, I have this thing where like I got friends that have had, you know, issues in their relationships, you know, losing, you know, like they've lost someone that was really special to them because they made a stupid mistake or whatever. They just didn't understand how to navigate in that relationship. And you know, I've had a lot of that situation happen to me in the past, and I've learned so much from it. And now you know, I've given so much advice over the years to my friends, and it's helped, right? And so that's something that I really, really love doing. And so So what I'd love to be able to do is do more of that on an ongoing basis, on a regular basis. And now today, you're a relationship coach and mentor, from what I understand, correct?
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, and that's something that you're passionate about, and so in your ability to do that, is partially is a big part of that is because of your, and let me know if I'm wrong, because of your Airbnb passive income. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, correct.
All right, great. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that, and then Chris, let's talk to me, man. Talk to me about what it is. I know you mentioned some of that earlier. You mentioned a few things, but I understand you because you said some of the same thing to me too, and that's the reason why I have both of you on here. Believe it or not, because I know you two have never met. You guys are family. You guys are both accelerator brothers, and Eduardo's in the mastermind. I know Chris is about to be as well. But one of the things you told me as well was that, you on your social media pages, you do a lot as well on relationships. You want to talk about that? Is that one of the things you're really, really passionate about? And
Yeah,
I mean, you wrote the book about it. You wrote a book about it. So,
I mean, realistically, I've been doing this for a long. I've been doing the relationship thing for a long time. Like I started that path 9 years ago is when I really started posting those videos, and then
really?
people were like kind of towards them, and I started getting my views and shares, and I was like, okay, let me just stick to this. It was cool to see like the messages I would get from people saying how appreciative and thankful they were, asking for advice. Originally, I started with the music. That was my thing. Like I was going on tours, I was doing that, and I still got a passion for music. I still do it, but that's why like I kind of just want to do.
Oh, that's right. The music. I forgot about
Right.
the music part. Yeah, that's right. The music.
So that's why it's kind of hard for me when people ask me like, yo, what do you do? Like, I feel like in today's generation, especially 2022, like it's not about what you do, it's about you being your product. Like I'm a product, you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. It doesn't matter if I'm selling a t-shirt, it doesn't matter if I'm talking relationship advice, it doesn't matter if I'm making music. People got to gravitate towards it because it's me. I'm the product, and I feel like that's the new era of social media influencers. This is the new era of anybody that's in that. If you're trying to be a relationship coach, if you're trying to do anything, like you have to, unless you're really just trying to stick to that path. I'm more of the social media aspect of things. Like I want to do it, and I love what I'm doing, but I'm an influencer, and I would probably put that at the top. Because then that opens up that kind of like umbrellas down the idea of everything else that I do. So I can still do my music. I can still do my relationship stuff. I can still go on another reality TV show if I want to do it. I want to do all these things, but I want to do what I enjoy doing. You know what I mean? And that's where, and have time for my family at the same time and make my money and make my passive income. That's where I'm at. So can I sit here and say that I want to be a relationship counselor strictly for the next 30 years? Absolutely not. I might end up in a church. I might be preaching in a church, but it's giving back positivity, it's good vibes, and it's me doing it. And I want to be, and I'm the brand. I created my brand around me, not one specific thing. And Eduardo, I say that to you too, brother. Like I see what I think it's dope, man. What you have done and what you talk about, how you married your wife and you did something special for her. Like that's amazing. And nowadays, the new generation of men that are coming up, they need to understand that, because I don't know, like there's this new type of, it's corny to be good to your woman. It's corny to treat your woman right. These new men coming up, they don't really have that male figure in their life to understand how to treat a woman, how to appreciate a woman, and how to be a man of God before anything. Because that's where I see it. Like if you got to follow that book, you got to be with God. You got to be close to God, because the temptation is crazy. You'll fall. You'll break down. And I say that like very confidently, because I will honestly say when I was younger, I was not the man I am today. I had fun. And you know what that fun got me and all those distractions got me? Yeah, I was young, but at the same time, that's not an excuse. It took me away from my passion and it took me away from my goals because talking to multiple people, not being structured, makes it so that you can't focus on what you need to. And I think a lot of men really kind of need that structure and understanding of how important it is to lock in and focus on your goals, and the importance of having one woman and being strong in a relationship and not being like these other knuckleheads out here. So I respect what you do, and I respect you as a man. I don't even really know you like that, but I just want to say that, man. Much love and much respect, and you like a brother now, man.
You know what, and I appreciate you sharing that, but I'm gonna open the floor up just briefly, Earl. I'm
Earl,
gonna open up the floor briefly, Earl, briefly, because Earl's next week, right? Earl's next week. He's on with one of the other sisters next week, but I feel it makes sense to open up the floor briefly to Earl, because like everything you're talking about, Earl's also, you know, he may not be a relationship counselor, but he's qualified, right? Because he and his beautiful wife, Yvonne, they've been together how many, 36, 35, 37 years, something like that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, something like that. I know I'm off 1 month, 1 year, it's give or take a year, but I know it's in there. I know he and I, are right there together. So, so Earl, like, to talk a little bit about, if you want, just like your passion, because Earl's a family man, and and he and his wife, they lock like Earl, Yvonne, like he didn't just get to 20 some odd listens because he just this special guy. Now he got this special woman that she all in, she's all in, and that's everything, right? And so, Earl, I mean, what's this about for you and Yvonne? If you want to just share a little bit for the ladies and the young men in here that are, that just need a little bit of wisdom from another one of our brothers.
I'm encouraged, man. First of all, I want to give it back to these young brothers, man. You guys are just so dialed in and so focused, not only in terms of what is really important, but understanding how relationships are a part of that. And I got involved with this for family more so than anything else, because I was neglecting my family. I was pursuing some things, that I thought would really create a legacy for my children. I have two sons, a 25-year-old, who is in his first real relationship, and we're trying to help him navigate that. And my 19-year-old, who is, serving in the U.S. military. And being a military man myself, I'm extremely proud of what me and my wife have been able to do in terms of having our kids, stay on that correct path, not get in trouble. It is really difficult being a black or brown male in this country. That's another conversation.
Mm-hmm.
However, extremely proud, but we wanted to leave a little bit more of a legacy. My wife's a social worker, very similar to Coach's wife, and I'm an educator, a high school math teacher. And so, spending a lot of, time doing other things, trying to create passive income. But it wasn't really until I latched into Coach's system and just became super obsessed. My wife would be like, babe, it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Shut that down. You got class in the morning. Just going through everything that Coach had, pre-recorded. And, we'll talk more about it, next week. But, we just really locked in. And my wife she's the soul of this. She is my why. Trying to give her time freedom is really what gives me that energy to keep things moving. Because she is just, she's just such a loyal person. She is a person whom, once she says she got your back, she got your back. And So it is you know, kind of just circling back to, you know, Eduardo, your proposal. That was amazing. Thank you for giving me permission to share that on my social media.
Not a problem. Any day.
Yeah, a lot of positive things came as a result of that because, you know, everybody wants passive income for different reasons. But at the end of the day, it's because of our why. You know, what are we truly passionate about? And Coach, you know, we're just very indebted that you have allowed God to use you in such a way that you're making this available for so many of us who are just looking for an off ramp for the rat race. You know, we want more. We have the desire to be more and do more, but we just don't have the correct tools to help us get there. So I hope I didn't speak too long, but I
No,
really
man, that was good. That was good. I appreciate that. So, you know what?
Earl,
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
I just said thank you, Earl, for that little bit of information. I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
absolutely, Chris, absolutely, my friend. Can't
Yeah.
wait to meet you guys in person. By the way.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we out in Florida now, so we got some things planned. We got some mastermind things planned coming up, and we're gonna be bringing some folks out here to Florida. So just keep an ear open, keep your eyes open for that one. But here's one of the things I just I want to just reflect on. And I'm really gonna try not to say too much, really, because this is really about you guys. It's not about me. And it's about what the Lord has done for you. And you know, I'm grateful that, you know, He's given me a heart to be a willing vessel, so that He can use me to help you reach that vision God's given you for your life and your family. But I say I'm grateful because He doesn't need me. He could have did this for y'all in however He wanted to, just like He did with Balaam. He used a donkey. He could use a donkey. He don't need me. But the fact that I'm obedient to His voice and I have a heart to wanna to love Him first and foremost before all things, and draw near to Him, to delight myself in Him, then to trust Him, then He directs our path. And so with that, as He's guided me, one of the things He's done is He's opened up my heart to want to share that gift that He blessed me with, that's really had such a profound effect on my life and my family's life, so that others that don't know, that may not have been fortunate enough to get it, right? To go through all that I had to go through to figure it out, to get it. Now I can make it simple, right? The way I've made it simple for myself, make it simple for them, so that their lives can be changed, their families' lives can be changed, so that generational cycles can be broken. And not so that Coach Jim can get all the, I don't want none of it. He gets the glory for it. I want Him. And if it's good enough for you guys, then it's good enough for my kids. Because now all my kids, they just do the same thing that you guys have done. And now they're all financially independent as well. Right? So that's how it works. And so I'm just grateful now. But what I wanted to say is this. One thing that Earl mentioned, Chris mentioned, Eduardo mentioned, is that you all talked about your why, right? And inside that why was this thing, not just the gift, because the gifts are there, but there's this thing, this passion. Like your why is much bigger than just you. It's much bigger than you. And when it comes to me hand selecting my students in the academy, because it is invitation only, when it comes to me hand selecting, that's one of the key things I look for a couple reasons. One is because, like, making money, like if that's all it's about, like we all make a lot of money, it's great. But if that's what it's about, I'm not excited about that. Made enough money. Done. I've made enough money. I'm not that excited about that. I don't need to take time away from other things that I'm so passionate about to make some more money. I got enough. We're making enough. It's bigger. It's about what he's doing for you, your family, your loved ones, what he's able to do for you guys and what you're going to do with that. That's what excites me. That's what excites me. How you're going to glorify him and how he blesses you. That's what excites me. That's one. But then the other thing is, the reason why I look for that thing to be bigger than just you is because when, and you guys all know, a big part of what we do inside the academy is about mindset. Like you can have the greatest vehicle in the world, but if your mindset ain't right, you ain't going nowhere. Because getting to what I like to call our cruising altitude, our minimum standard inside the academy, $5,000 to $15,000 a month in Airbnb and passive income. Once you're at 5 to 15, if you ain't doing that, you ain't doing nothing. Once you're there, then you're at cruising altitude. Now you can do some things, right? But to get there, it ain't just, oh, let's get this Airbnb. Like there's a mindset shift that you got to change. Why? Because society really funnels in so much stuff over the years that a lot of the limiting beliefs that we end up with make us believe that we have to, it's so much more complicated than it really is. Right? And you guys know, like you'll hear me say it all the time. Keep it what? Keep it simple. Right? Keep it simple. I want to simplify my life. I want to simplify how we do things. I don't like drama. We not doing this, chasing money. Keep it simple. The simpler it is, the bigger it will be for you. The more peace, right? The fruit, love, the joy, the peace, right? Peace, patience, right? Kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. Like keep it simple. Keep it simple. And but when you have that why, that thing that's bigger than just you, when you have that, when society is coming at you with all these things telling you can't do it, no, you gotta work, no, your uncle and your brother and your sister, your mother, your father, they've always done it this way. Who are you to think that now all of a sudden you can be making $15, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month passively and not having to punch a clock for somebody? Who are you to think that? That's what society's teaching you. No, the elite, the 1%, right? They want, I can say we, but I'm not, I might be in the 1%, but I'm not one of them in that sense. They want you, many of them, they need you. They need you to stay in that mindset. Why? Because we ain't going to go down there and do that stuff. We need somebody to do the stuff for us, to work that stuff for us so that I and my families don't have to do all the dirty work. We built it. We're building generational wealth. Now, I'm not saying it's not necessarily I'm not saying it's not a bad thing, because if you're not doing it with a heart, if you're not doing it with a heart to keep people down, it's not a bad thing, because some people, that's just what they need. They need a job, right? So that's not necessarily a bad thing. But then there are different pieces inside of our society that want and need to try to keep us down. And especially we know that as a people of color, we know that, right? So with that said, when you have a why that's bigger than just you, as you're going through these things and you're hitting these little bumps in the road, and people around you that care and they mean well, and they're telling you it can't be done, and they're funneling these things, like your why is bigger than that. No, when you got a landlord, right, that reached out to you, and then they may have met you, and all of a sudden you're not vibing the way you thought it would be, and that one that you thought was gonna say yes didn't say yes. Like, it didn't totally discourage you and stop you. The why is bigger. It's too big for you to just stop because of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. In some cases, 5 or 10. In some cases, 10 or 20. Like, it took me back then, you know my backstory, right? When I was back in college, and my mom 30 years ago, I got this call on a Saturday telling me she was dying, and I'm the oldest in a single parent household, living in the ghetto. I'm away hundreds of miles at college, and my younger brother and sister at home. Like, I had to grow up real fast. My why became real big. And thank God he showed me real estate. When I had no experience, I had no money, no credit. I had no one around me that was an example to me that said I could do it. But the Lord put it in my spirit that I could. I didn't really know him then, but he knew me, thank God. And it took me a year of getting no's. But my why was too big. Those no's weren't big enough. They weren't bigger than my why. And then eventually I got my first yes. And the rest is history. Because now my life, my family's lives, my nieces and nephews' lives, my brother and sister's lives, my grandchildren's lives, my children's lives are so much different than the way we grew up in the path that we were on for generations. So much different. So that's why. That's the other reason why, because you're gonna get a no. You're gonna have obstacles along the way. You're gonna have challenges. But if your why is big enough, then you're gonna follow what I like to call the formula for success, right? My formula is this: patience, persistence, obedience to his voice, and faithfulness, knowing that what he promises you, it's gonna come. It's going to happen. The only way it ain't gonna happen is if you die. And even then, right, if you just walk away. But what he promises you, he doesn't lie. He can't. He says it's impossible for me to lie if we're just faithful, if we're obedient. So not even death can keep us from it. So I even correct myself there. Not even death can keep us from it. So with that, I that's the reason why I jump on these. I'm doing these now, because what he's done in you guys' lives, right, and what he's continuing to do is such an inspiration to me and to everyone else that hears. And I want to encourage you all. Don't stop. He got so much more for you. So much more. And I appreciate, you don't know how much I appreciate what you guys are doing. I appreciate the fact that you're eating from his fruit, and then as that tree is just blossoming, you're sharing the fruit. You're sharing with others. This is not about bragging. It's not about bragging. You guys are sharing because there's, just like you, before you got enrolled, you saw one of the other students share something that said, man, this might be really possible. And now look. But before that, this is why a lot of our people also stumble, is because they don't know, many of us, there's a lot of garbage out there and so on the media, on the internet. Everybody's saying they can do this, do that. You don't know who to trust. Right? And then when you look at, these circles, like the ones I told you about, that are, where these guys were making millions of dollars, none of them look like you. So, or you don't know people doing it. So can you trust it? You don't know. So what you're doing, you're continuing to change lives by sharing, by giving. And guess what? As you give, right? When he gives, as you give, he's just going to give back to you tenfold. He's just going to give it back to you. in some ways you're going to be able to enjoy them. In some ways you may not even know, because there's so many people that we've helped and we don't even know the depth and the magnitude of how we help them. But it's okay. He knows. He knows. And as long as you're doing it with his heart, which is what? His first commandment is what? Love. Is love. Is love.
Yep.
Love him with all your heart, soul, mind, strength, and love your neighbor, which is just as important, he said, as you love yourself. So love, that's what he wants, our hearts. If we do it with the right heart, then we don't have to think about it. It's not things that we're doing, it's just who we are. And that's what you all just shared. That's what you all just shared. How much you love helping people. You all said it. And so I said I wouldn't get long-winded, so I'm gonna shut up. But when I get into this stuff, it's just because again, it's not what we do, it's just who we are. And it's hard to not be excited when you're talking about what, because it's just being grateful that you can. Right? And so with that, listen, all of you guys, and I ain't even talking about Earl right now. Earl's next week. So Eduardo, Chris, I know Chris, you got you got your social media pages, you got a book. Like, I know I got some of my sons are in my chat, my comments and things. First, I want you guys to make sure you put the link to Chris's book in the comments. And Chris, go ahead, let's talk to her. Tell us where people can find out more about, because you're doing more than just one thing. Like you said, I'm a brand. You're like a octopus. You got a hand out here and a hand out there. You got a stream over here. But it's all the things that you're passionate about, and amen. That's awesome. So talk, if you want to tell people how they can reach out and get, some of the resources that you have available, that would be great. And at least it's on video, but we're going to also put your links inside the comments.
Yeah. You guys can, I guess the easiest way to get in contact and see what I got going on would be just to follow me on any of my platforms. You guys can just look for me. It would be Chris GQ Perry on everything. Instagram. The book is on Amazon, 24 Reasons You Are Good Enough. You can check it out there. But yeah, I'm here now, so you guys can just click and follow me.
Praise God. Yep.
I'll show up back. Try to.
Amen.
Yep.
And Eduardo, before I get there, Eduardo, hold up. So everybody in here listening right now, like, has this been helpful? Is this kind of cool? I mean, what are y'all thinking other than outside of the format? Like, I'm not crazy about this format on my phone. Like, I don't like that. But other than that, like, was this helpful for you guys? Someone said they got your book already. It's amazing, Chris. Who's that? That was Stephanie. Stephanie 62 says she got it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate you.
Yes. And who's that? I am Yana Saunders. I'm not sure. So she said this was helpful. And Melanie.
Somebody said I'm freezing on and off.
Yeah, you're lagging. You have been. But
really?
Listen, just not your voice, just your image.
Video,
everything you shared was pretty clear. Was very clear. It's just your image lags a little bit.
That's strange.
Yeah, it is, because no one else is doing that. But you guys, who else? Who's that? Lady Slim. Lady Slim said it was very inspiring. This was inspiring. Awesome. Chris Cartwright, my son, he said it was awesome. He's gonna say it's awesome. Well, he would tell me if it was garbage too, if it was. So Franklin's one accelerator. He said yes. Okay. All right, cool. So I'm glad this was helpful, because that's really what it's all about, right? Ain't nobody here trying to sell y'all nothing. You know what? No, let me lie. I don't lie, but I gotta take that back. There is something I'm trying to tell you. What I'm trying to sell you is on the fact that you need to know, we all need to know who he says we are. I need to sell you on that, right? Who he says you really are, right? As his child that loves him, we are co-heirs with Christ. Who he says you really are is that you're loved and you have access, right? He says to us that he knows the plans that he has for us. Plans not to harm us, but to prosper us, to give us a hope and a future. He tells us that, right? He tells us that. He tells us we have access to all things under him if we trust, believe, and obedient. He tells us that if we delight ourselves in him, he shall give us the desires of our heart. He'll place those desires in our heart. And when he does that, he's also going to provide us with the resources to bring those things to fruition. So yes, I'm trying to sell you on something, on the fact that you need to know who you are. And if you know who you are, then the rest of the world can't fool you to believe that you're less than what you are, than what he says you are. And what you have before you is not going to be as great as what he says, right? And so for me, like I do have a you know, a little bit of I like to say a selfish motive, you know, a little bit of an ulterior motive in a sense. It's a little selfish, just a little bit. And what I mean by that is this: like I want to love the Lord, I do. I want to love him. I want to be obedient to him. I want to be humble. Why? Because I want every promise that he has for me. Every promise that he has for my descendants. Every promise that he has for my descendants' descendants. I want everything. I don't want anything more. I don't want anything more. But I definitely don't want anything less either. And so I want to be obedient. I want to love him. But I want everyone else to know that too. Because what he has for you in his worst effort, is far greater than what we can do for ourselves in our greatest effort. So that's all I'm saying. That's it, right? So believe it. Believe it. It's true. It's true. And I'll, you know, but Eduardo, talk to us, man. Talk to us. Tell everyone where they can reach out to you and connect with you if they really resonated with some of the things that you're doing and just want to
They
reach
can
out.
find me on Facebook under Eddie Payares. I believe I sent you the link.
Eddie Palat. Yep. All right. So let's see. I got that link, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to my son now so he can post it. And then yep, I got it. So and that's on Facebook, Eduardo.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's
All
on
right.
Facebook.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let me see. I'm gonna do that now. And then and Earl, I'll let you talk. Hey Earl, you got a Instagram profile, or Facebook profile? Where you at?
Yeah, I do got a Facebook. Facebook. It is. Let me see. Hang on. My son set it up for me, so I gotta check.
Okay.
Thank God for young people. Right. Okay. Oh, it's it's Earl.McCray.5.
Okay. Now, just for everyone else with Eduardo stuff, just so you know, like you can also click on, like Chris said, just click on Eduardo's thing here, go to his Instagram profile, and then Eduardo, you can also place it in there for when people go to your profile, right? Your Facebook thing.
Yeah, my Instagram is fairly new, but my Facebook, it's fairly situated. Everything's already set up there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it's all in there. I'm just looking for where we at? All right. So
housing solutions
I
for you.
lost me, but I sent that over. So Chris and George, they're gonna post it in the thing. So I had to,
Yeah,
because I'm
you're
doing
barely,
this.
you lagged out a little.
Yeah, I lagged out a little, but I'm back. I'm back. I got your I sent that to Chris and George. They're gonna post it in the comments now. So I sent your Facebook profile over. So with that said, everyone, listen, I'm glad prayerfully this was helpful. Chris, Eduardo, Earl, um, again, I thank you for everything that you're doing out there in the communities, the examples that you're setting, and how you're honoring God through that. And I just want to encourage you to continue to do that. And there's so much more beyond your wildest dreams that is to come. So just continue to do that. And I don't know if anyone have any questions for us while we're here. This is really not, I really didn't really format it to do all of that right now. But if you have any quick questions, maybe we can answer a couple. We can stay on maybe another 5 minutes or so and see any questions.
I'm good, brother. I feel
All
good.
right. Yeah. I was talking to people that are sitting here following us. So you can type it in the comments
Oh,
and just see if there's anything.
that's
Right. That's right.
Chris, what
So
was your question for me, my friend? What was your question?
now I was seeing that. Is that the name of your company, Housing Solutions for You?
You got it. Yep.
Okay, cool. I like that. And you're in the master program, right?
No, I'm waiting to get an invitation. I haven't earned that right yet.
Ah, come on. So you just
you've
do.
earned it. You've earned it. I just been slow in getting it to you. That's all.
Okay.
That's just.
Eduardo's profile was just posted in there, and and again, I just wanna just thank everyone, and I'll just close this out in a real quick prayer. Father God, I just thank you, Lord, for just this opportunity for all of us to just come together, Lord, and just share. Father, I pray that you will just continue, Lord, to just form our hearts, so that they will mirror yours. Father, I pray that you will just bless the hands of Chris and Eduardo and Earl. Bless their hands, Lord, and the things that they touch, Lord, that they will glorify you, that those things that they do touch, Father, that they will grow, that they will leave seeds for others to be planted, for other fruit trees to grow, for others to eat from, Lord, that ultimately you will get the glory. And Father, I just pray you just fill their homes with your Holy Spirit, and bless us all, Lord, with wisdom. For all those that are here today, Lord, I pray, God, that you would just bless them as well. Help them to have clarity in knowing what it is you would have them do. And Lord, whatever that is that they are able to accomplish, Father, whatever those gifts are that you bless them with, the passions, Father, I pray, Lord, that they recognize that they are from you, and that they will go to you to get direction and how to best use them to accomplish what it is you would have them accomplish, Lord. So you are an awesome God, Lord. We thank you. You're an awesome God. We love you. You're an awesome God. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
So thank you, guys.
That's everybody.
Yes, sir.
Later, guys.
All right, yo.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys.